Good evening and welcome to Anfield and to our Matchday Live preview show, being live across our various social media platforms and brought to you by our good friends at Standard Chartered. I'm here pitchside with Ray Houghton to look ahead towards tonight's game with West Ham United in the Premier League. And there's plenty for Ray to get his teeth stuck into over the course of the next 15 minutes or so. We'll discuss how the Reds go about building momentum after Sunday's fabulous win against Manchester City. We'll focus on Alisson's wondrous assists, another one in the bag to Mohamed Salah at the weekend. We'll also discuss Salah's more central role in the team and look at some of the injuries the Reds are having to deal with just now. And Ray will also maybe second guess what Jurgen might do tonight. Hey Ray, good to see you. Well, a fabulous result, a fabulous performance more than anything at the weekend. How good a showing was it? Was it almost the complete performance against a team of City's quality?
Yeah, I think when you take into consideration, Mark, the opposition that you were playing against, you know, the form that they've shown this season already, and then you've got Haaland, who scored 15 goals in the league in 9 matches prior to Sunday's game. When you factor that all in, I thought it was an excellent win for Liverpool. Back to their best when it came to closing down, understanding of on the pitch where they should be. Robertson back, I thought, was massive. Nothing against Simicast, who's been very good for the team. I just think Robertson, with his energy and his know-how, just gives you a little bit extra going forward from that left-back position. And the chances that they created, I thought, was excellent. Manchester City, of course, are going to have opportunities themselves in games, but I thought they managed it well. Nice to see Virgil back to his very best. This is the incident with the free kick. It's an easy one because it's intent. If you intend to pull someone over, it's a free kick. So I don't know why it took as long as it did to come to the conclusion. They are the chances that nearly got Liverpool the opening goal. Alisson, once again, was excellent in goal, made some very good saves at the right time. But this, for me, is the turning point. His awareness, his vision to pick out the clearance downfield because he's seen the 1v1 situation. And for Mo Salah, we've just seen a clip earlier where Mo went through and he tried to curl it in the far corner, and Edison actually made a really good save with his right hand. On this occasion, you don't do the same thing twice. So when he went through, he waited for the goalkeeper to make his move, then chipped it over him. He didn't go low, he went high. And that was the difference between the first chance, which was saved, and the second one, what ended up being the winning goal.
What stood out for me about that performance more than anything, I thought, was that the concentration at the back and the real discipline in defence. How do the guys take that into this game and beyond and replicate that? Because it was what we saw from them back in the title-winning season. It was that level of concentration and control.
But the other thing, Mark, I think people have gone too far with Liverpool's performances this season. You know, there's a lot of gloom and doom around about how they're playing. I've not seen it that way. I'm completely different. Because what I've seen game after game is Liverpool dominating possession, Liverpool having more opportunities than the opposition. So why were they losing? That's the question we should be asking. And it came down to not defending as well as a team. Not the back four, the whole team weren't defending in the manner they had done for the last few seasons. On Sunday we've seen that. In the second half against Rangers we've seen that. So when we get back to that level where everyone is going as one to close down, not individually or ones and twos and getting picked off, they're doing it as a collective. That's the difference, what I've seen in the last game and a half from Liverpool's performances. They must maintain that now. Now, you're saying about momentum. Momentum's been at this club for the last 5-6 years since Jurgen Klopp came in and changed the mindset of the players. Yes, it's slipped for a little bit. It doesn't mean it can't come back very, very quickly. And I expect Liverpool from now on, between now and the end of the season, to see improvement and winning games, and it will start tonight against West Ham.
It was interesting speaking to Andy Robertson and Virgil van Dijk over in Naples after what was a poor performance, and they accepted that. They said what we got away from is working together, exactly what you said, hunting impacts, defending as a team, working as a team. Does it sometimes just take a little bit of time to work on those things in training to get it back, to get something back? And is that what we've seen now? They found a way back to where they were. Well,
the other problems we've had is, look, it was a phenomenal season last season. There were 2 games away from doing something no English team had ever done before, winning the quadruple. Now, I think that had an impact on the players because of every game near the end of the season, the build-up to the next one was even more intensity than the one before. And it's hard to cope with that game after game after game and think, you know, we're going to come back to start season, everything's going to be great. So there's an immediacy in football today where the expectation from game one that you're going to be at your very best every game, that is not how football works. Sometimes it takes you a little bit longer to get up to speed and to get the new players integrated into what you want from them and how they play. And I think it's took Liverpool a little bit of time to do that. I'll go back to what I said earlier. Chances, possession of the ball, Liverpool's dominated virtually every game they've been in. Maybe not against City, and I think Arsenal had more shots at goal than Liverpool. Every other game, it's been Liverpool, it's been dominating. So there's just been a slight defensive frailty that's let them down. And I see them now with Milner playing well at the weekend. Gomez had his best game for Liverpool in a long time. I lied to the fact that Virgil said himself before the game, he's not played to the level that he's had, but he's not been as bad as some people have made out. And he was back to his best at the weekend. And he helps the other players around him. And that's why Liverpool got the result against Manchester City.
I wish I could play to Virgil van Dijk's bad level, I tell you. In terms of the turning point of the game, you said a few moments ago, it was that pass from Alisson to Mo Salah on the way he took the goal. Alisson's got previous, though, a third Premier League assist for the big man. On top of course, a Premier League goal. This is when he's done it before. This was, of course, the previous one. Just the technique to execute that. Some people look at that and think that's easy to do. It's not. It's
not just the technique. That's obviously part of it. But the most important part is the awareness. So you see things quicker. So when he's collecting it, he's not just holding on to it for the sake of it. He's looking proactively. What can I do to affect the game? Who does look further down the field? He sees Mo Salah, he delivers it into the area, and it's up to Mo to finish off the move. That's all part of the training sessions that I'm sure that the players go through, working on situations like that. Say the ball's delivered in, you watch when he collects it. It's not even like a half chance, because Cancelo really should be the dominant defender there. Shouldn't be going in to try and win it. But how quickly Alisson picks it up and then he wants to get it downfield. He sees Mo's moving into the Manchester City half. He's played the ball into the right area. Mo's onto it. Upper body strength. I thought all game he was phenomenal. The way he just held players off. The opposition were bouncing off of him. I've not seen him as strong as that. As if he had a point to prove. Thought he was absolutely tremendous from that point of view. Then he's touched to get away. But then when you get through, as I said, you don't make the same mistake. You try the same thing that you've done before. You do something a little bit different. You wait for the goalkeeper to go down, and then you improvise with a little chip over. Brilliant. Not many players can do it. A lot of them will put it wide, a lot of them will hit the keeper. But when you've got someone of the class of Salah, if you give him a second chance, he's going to finish it. We've seen
Jurgen sort of tweak his formation of late. He's switched a good bit across the last 3 games, that sort of 2-3-1. We've seen Mo Salah at times end up in a more central position. Does he offer a different kind of threat there? Is that a good trick to have up your sleeve to maybe every so often drop on a team?
Well, I think what it also does, Mark, is it confuses the opposition, because they get games, they've been watching tapes of Liverpool in the last few matches, they've seen Mo Salah predominantly on the right. So there'll be a game plan to mark him. Then all of a sudden you see him in a central position. So it frees players up. And class players, they can play in a variety of positions. You know, you don't pigeonhole them. You give them the freedom to go out and express themselves. Now, we've seen it when he came on as a substitute against Rangers, where he was absolutely phenomenal. You know, some of these movement, running in behind, I say his upper body strength is great. And the way he never panics when he's in and around the 18-yard box. You know, his coolness personified, and he just passes the ball into the back of the net. And even here with his third goal, once again, just look at the touch, the movement, and there, the precision finish. Didn't give the goalkeeper any chance whatsoever. And this is what I think makes the top player stand out. That was the chance before he scored when he went through. You watch the way that he just moves and glides into position. Great first touch. Now he's going to attack. Gets it onto his favourite left foot. Curls in the far corner. What a save that was, though. I mean, it was a brilliant save. Great opportunistic attempt from him. But a fantastic save. But here, there's the difference. See how he just lifted it, just waited for the keeper to go to ground, and that's an art in itself. That's a skill that only the special players have got, and that was a special finish to win Liverpool the game.
It's interesting, you know. We've seen him, those goals against Rangers still coming from that right-hand side, but the difference from earlier in the season, he was way out on the touchline, far too wide perhaps at times. Maybe they've modified that. Even when he doesn't play through the middle, he's going to be a little bit more inside, so it gives him closer to their goal when he starts his offensive move.
You're right, so I don't mind when he goes really wide, because I think he attracts the full-backs, and then it leaves gaps between the centre-back and the full-back, which leaves room for others to run into. So that's his job at times, is not always to come inside, it's to hold you with. Maybe free it up if Trent Alexander-Arnold's coming forward, or one of the central midfielders. They can move into that space that he's afforded them by keeping his width. So that's what you've got to look. It's not just about him staying wide for the sake of it. He's doing it for a reason. The manager's asked him to do something to affect the game for Liverpool to get more chances. Look, he's an extremely gifted footballer, but he's a very intelligent footballer. He picks up great positions, and I think with Firmino at the minute and the form that he's in, they're working in tandem. They know instinctively where each other are. Mo's always looking to get in behind because he wants to use his strength and his pace and his finishing prowess to get Liverpool goals. But Liverpool have scored about 20-odd goals in the league this season already. They've scored plenty of goals. That's not the problem for them. Just when they defend well as a team, as a unit, that's what makes the difference, when everyone's working together as one.
To be fair, nearly half of them were against Bournemouth, though. In terms of the weekend, there was one blip, of course, the injury to Diogo Jota. Sadly, we're hearing this come up. Will miss the World Cup quite frequently about players just now. It's so cruel on the lad. And that's a blow to the team, because with Diaz out as well, in key positions, missing that attacking threat, that attacking cover, that attacking variety.
I've got to say I was devastated for him, because you know what, he's had his injury problems over the last few months or so, but I thought he was absolutely brilliant on Sunday. Back to his best, fit, running at the opposition, getting in behind them. That was where he picked up the injury. Initially I thought it was cramp, you know, that was the first thing that I thought, but you could tell after a while, and the fact that he remained on the floor waiting for the medical team to come on and look after him, you knew it was more serious. Devastating for him that he's going to miss the World Cup. Devastating for Liverpool, because I thought, as I said, watching him Sunday, I thought he was back to his best. And you need variety of players in that attacking positions, because that's where Liverpool get a lot of their goals from.
That does limit some of the choices available to Jurgen Klopp. He's got less players to pick from tonight, but there are still a few decisions to be made. If you were in his shoes, talk us through what you do with team select. You always like doing this.
Yeah,
pundits love this.
I love doing this part of the show when I'm trying to second guess Jurgen, which is virtually impossible. I've not made too many changes tonight. Obviously, you've got to make one because he said Jota's out. Nunez has come in. I thought he showed enough when he came on as a substitute, where he looked pacey, you know, he looked direct. Yes, there was a couple of occasions where he should have squared the ball instead of taking the shot on himself. And the other one, I've just brought Henderson in. Jordan didn't start against Manchester City, and I just wondered if the manager was maybe keeping him for tonight as well, because you're going to have to utilise your squad. There's a lot of games coming up between now and before the start of the World Cup. A lot of matches, not only in the League, Champions League, League Cup. And I think you're going to have to just look after your players as best you can over the coming matches. And it might be just an idea tonight to let Jordan come in that very experienced midfield three, because if West Ham go with Souček and with Rice, two big, tall, imposing players, you might just want to have similar types in there to combat them.
Yeah, rather than Harvey Elliott.
Yeah, maybe instead. Yeah, Harvey looked like nothing to get. Harvey's done great. You know, he's come into the team, fitted in really well, and he's going to get more opportunities. He's young. You know, he's still got a number of years to play in the first team. I just think maybe he might go for that little bit more experience and just match it up a little bit in that central position in the park.
Okay, great stuff, Ray. We'll pause things just there. Yeah, more to come from Ray on LFC TV tonight, where he'll be joining me alongside Jermaine Pennant through the course of our programming. You have got the following available to you tonight on LFC TV and LFC TV Go. Matchday Live is on air from 6:25 with all the preview ahead of tonight's game and, of course, the breaking team news. Then from 7:30, live audio commentary comes your way. Steve Hunter is tonight joined by Jay Spearing. Then at 9:30, we'll be back down pitch side here at Anfield with all the post-match reaction and interviews from the game between Liverpool and West Ham. Then from midnight, you can watch the whole game in its entirety with the on-demand replay. And then tomorrow, across our social media platforms, Facebook and YouTube, you can watch Inside Anfield with all the behind-the-scenes footage from tonight's clash. That's us done for now. We hope to see you this evening. Enjoy the game.